Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. We're about halfway through Shadowbringers now. Just about. So let's get back into it, shall we? Trying to make these startups as quick as when I get back from a break or something. Make the YouTube videos a bit more consistent when I have to do shorter streams, you know? So, let's not waste any time and get back in there.
I got poison!
I didn't? What the fuck? Sandboard's on the fritz. I'm not poisoned, I'm good. What is this? Almost done with part 1 then. Part 1's the first half, part 2's the second half. A pattern you might have already noticed from previous expansions. And then part 3 and 4 is essentially the post-game patch content. As I like to call it. The stuff that comes between expansions. The drip feed shit. You get an episode once every 3 months. Now it's gonna be every 4 months. Oof. But yeah. Hey, I mean, if we get higher quality shit, I can't complain. Got plenty of new games coming out that'll keep us entertained anyway, in between episodes of post-Endwalker, I suppose, right? When I get there. Damn, there was a lot of new announcements this past week. Or this past, like, 2 weeks. Which is why I've been a little absent, too, with watching streamer reactions and the announcements myself. Fucking Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil Village DLC, including third person, which no one saw coming. Then VR updates. They can play Village in VR. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 finally got announced. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. For next winter, though. Still a year and a half away, at least. But still, that's something I'm excited about. And, you know, I'll try to find a way how to stream mobile games, too, so I can do what's it called? The new mobile one, not the Battle Royale bullshit. The First Soldier? No, fuck that trash. What's it called? Ever Crisis, there we go. I'll tip my tongue. Alright, back to this. The Burden of Knowledge. Oh shit. It's the, I forgot what I call this music, but you know. Get you pumped up. With the Yomorans gone and your companion now returned, I think it best you go now before they can regroup. With magic flowing once more through the Great Pyramid of Uxner, the entrance to the Katana Rabble should now be open. Before we leave, Urianger, did you discover anything that may suggest the Light Warden hides elsewhere? Nay. Excuse me, though we had but little time before the Yomorans' most unwelcome arrival. We scoured the nearby environs and spoke once more with the one called Corral. Corral, I guess. Having hearkened to her tale, it is my judgment that the Sin-Eater which her late mother did espy was indeed the being to seek, and that it most likely resided in the vicinity of Raktika Falls. In the absence of any subsequent sighting, I have no reason to believe our quarry has sought out a new sanctuary, and given the considerable difficulty we face in reaching the falls, we may be certain it has not been disturbed by man. Then our course is clear. We must navigate the Katana Rabble and make for Raktika Falls. Though you see it as but another obstacle to be navigated, the Katana Rabble is the oldest and most sacred of our temples. The accumulated knowledge of the Empire is said to reside within. Knowledge which is rightly yours as allies of Ronka. You are welcome to explore. I fully intend to survey every elm of it, once our mission is complete. Were the Emperor still alive, he would be overjoyed to hear you say so. But I must warn you, though the way is open, it will still be heavily guarded. To discourage trespassers and test the worth of our allies, it had to be so. Be careful in there. Javier in the background, on the hammock, like, what's going on here? Head east and you will find the path of azure flowers leading to the Ravel. I wish you safe passage through its halls. There's a little squirrel there, too. Oh, right, it's Thancred's minion, I forgot. Damn! Even Thancred's scroll came with him to the first? What the hell? It's a nice running gag, isn't it? Thancred with his little squirrel. Been with him since the fucking bloody banquet. You know, those flashback scenes where he was naked after he came out of the live stream and the squirrel was there to censor it. Still with him. Master Matoya, I know I cannot dissuade you from going, so please, promise me you will return safely. The Knights Blessed need you. You need not worry, Runar. I shall return and bring with me a long-awaited gift. One the Knights Blessed will treasure now and forevermore. True, he has no idea what's coming. We're gonna surprise his ass. Now let us away. A fucking squirrel, dude. That's super cute. I have to watch out for it more. It doesn't appear in every scene, but I feel like it's in quite a few. Oh yeah, something else I forgot to mention that I only just noticed myself. The job classes that the Warrior of Light switches between during the Shadowbringers trailer is all the job classes from the previous expansions that came before it. In order, by the way. You go back and watch the Shadowbringers trailer for those who haven't noticed this. You know, he starts off as an archer, and he even gets headaches and flashbacks of when he started his adventure as an archer at the very beginning of FF14 1.0. You go back and look at that trailer, right? There he is as an archer, and then that little heckler fucking imp comes along, the gremlin, and starts talking shit. And then, you know, the angel comes out and attacks him. It breaks his bow immediately when he deflects the blow. He turns into a warrior, which is Realm Reborn's job class, for the Warrior of Light in the trailer. And then, well, technically at the end of 1.0, he was already a warrior at that point, but you know what I mean. Into Realm Reborn, he was still a warrior. And even into Heaven's Word, that's when he finally changes again to Dragoon, which is the next thing he attacks the Sin Eater with. And then he changes to Monk, Stormblood, and then Samurai, still Stormblood, because he was 2 jobs for that one. And then finally Dark Knight, for, with this outfit, for Shadowbringers. I was like, oh, I didn't catch that detail before. Travel east along the path of azure flowers. The Katana Ravel is not far. The Katana Ravel is said to be fiercely guarded. Please be careful. You need not worry about the Yomorns while you are inside. Should they return, we will be ready. This time they'll be more prepared than last time, I hope. Lest you doubt, I won't be helping you do battle with the Light Warden. To accompany you thus is quite taxing enough. Now, if you've no further questions? Are there any other Asians here in the first? Or is it just you right now? Not a single one. Happily, I am quite content to mingle with the masses. And even if I did crave the company of my own kind, one might say we're understaffed at present. Ha! I've killed too many of you, or what's going on? Well, Gaius too, right? He's been hunting down Asians left and right. There are no strict rules governing how we work, though that has not been without its consequences. In the beginning, we were each responsible for a shard, and free to do as we wished. Which means there was 13 or 14 of them. If you count the source, yeah. But Igorim's impetuous temperament showed us the folly in that. Why? Igorim... Yeah, the chick who died at the end of Heaven's Word, before La Habrea. Yeah, I killed her and then King Thorin killed La Habrea. What did she do? In light of her failings, we took to working in tandem as the situation demanded. Mitron and Logrif were supposed to take care of the first, of course. Alas, they were slain by the champions of this realm shortly before the Flood. Okay. Expendable though they were, I found them quite useful. But that is a tale for another time. Huh. Bunch of off-screen Asian deaths. Go figure. See that you take good care of Master Matoya, and may the shadows keep you. What were their names? Logrif and who? Let's see that again. I might take a screenshot, just so I can keep it straight. It was Mitron and Logrif. They were killed by Ardbert and his friends, it sounds like. Yeah. Natron, Logres, Bigram, Nabrialis, La Habrea, Emetzel, Elidibus. That's 7. Which means there's still like another 6 or 7 unaccounted for. But Gaius hasn't named any Asians he's killed, and he has a few red masks on his belt. Literally. On his belt. So... I would think Emetzel would have said something about it, though. Also, the lesser Asians, the ones with the black masks, I don't think they count as part of the, you know, 1 each for each shard or reflection of the source. I don't think that's a thing. Otherwise, I would count, obviously, the one we, you know, the black mask dude that we killed at the very beginning of the entire game in Realm Reborn. I can't imagine what could have survived in there after so many years. Sorry, it's only when I start streaming, too. After you, my friend. I think start getting the urge to sneeze for some reason. At long last, the time hath come to find out what wonders yet remain at the heart of Ronka. Indeed. It's had better work. I have no wish to return to the Great Pyramid. Yeah, that was quite something. Let's open the way. The way. You can feel the ether flowing through the door. A gentle push may be all that's required. Our earlier efforts were not in vain, it seems. Stay on your guard, Leon. We know not what awaits us inside. Alright, in we go. To think we'll be the first people in thousands of years to set foot inside this place. It's humbling, knowing they've entrusted us with the history of their people, with their legacy. That is quite something. Keep an eye on your stolen Urianger, would you? It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if one of them wandered off to inspect the temple's relics. Well, let's get this over with, shall we? He's like, they're nerds, alright? They might, you know, get distracted by seeing something that they're like, ooh! When Tancred and I spoke with Coril, she described unto us the form of our quarry, just as her mother had once done unto her. Is a feathered beast possessed of 3 heads, both simian and canine in nature. An abomination amongst abominations. Were Alfino to paint a picture sketched by the lady's words, the result would surely turn the blood to ice. He's a good artist, yeah. Dude, again, really? What the fuck? Doesn't even say high pollen on my weather thing right now. I don't know what the hell's doing it. I never did tell you why I chose to take up thaumaturgy, did I? No, you didn't say shit. Everyone else said something about their new job class when they got to the first. As you will no doubt have noticed, life here in the first can be exceedingly unforgiving. Brutal, in a word. I had not long been in Norbrand when I realized my mastery of conjuring magics would not suffice to protect the people. It was a struggle at first to embrace the change, but I confess the path of the thaumaturge suits me rather well. Yeah, your personality has certainly adapted very well to being more of a, you know, black mage or whatever than a healer. I always felt it kind of suited her more even before she came here, but now even more so. She's become more stern, more badass, obviously, and they all underwent subtle personality change. I talked about this before already. Some more than others. But, like, it's just enough, that character development, that it just makes them so much more iconic and memorable. And the other thing about that is that it's really cool that this expansion actually lets you travel with them the whole way through now. Rather than some of them being completely written out of the story for a while and then coming back way later, or after the game's over, you know? And then it's just kind of, they're all over the place. Here, you're still switching out in and out with party members, like Alfino and Alize aren't with us right now, right? But for the most part, it's really cool that the whole posse's here. You know what I mean? Because in Stormblood, your solo was there only at the beginning, and then after Xenos fucking injured her, she was out of the fucking story for like the entire game after that. Banquet was also not very heavy in Stormblood either. He was rarely there at all. And of course, Urianger has been very, like, in none of the story, like, he's only been in the post-game shit for all the expansions, and most of the expansions he's, like, not even there. So, for once, we actually get to travel alongside him, and he gets a lot more dialogue now, too. You know what I mean? So, it's really cool. Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta read the description first. The Empire of Ronco was a place of magic and enlightenment, of peace and prosperity. Sadly, it was not meant to last. Though naught but ruins remain, they remain heavily guarded nonetheless. The Katana Ravel is perhaps the most sacred of these sites, home to the ancient wisdom of the past. With the advent of the Flood, however, you have reason to believe something more sinister now resides there as well. Well, I guess we're about to find out. Let's get in there. Yeah, this looks good. It's my only choice as a tank. There is no other combination. There would only be one choice as a healer too. And there would only be one choice as a tank as well. So, this is pointless. Yeah. Basically, the character loadout is, for this particular dungeon, is completely based on whatever job class you are. There's no switching out anybody, there's no extras. Dude, that sunlight is bright. Might have to... I can see too much of my reflection. I gotta turn it down. I'm just watching myself on the TV. Yeah. That's a little better. The music. That is a good one. All the dungeon themes tend to be bangers in this one. Again, Soken really came into his own here. Like, holy shit. Such a humongous step up from previous expansions. Guardians of the Ravel, in the name of the Emperor, I bid you awaken. Have care, I sense ether emanating from the statues. Like I'm in Philly just cooked that shit. Right! Open your eyes and purge the Ravel of this taint. Over our dead bodies, asshole. Taking it like a champ. And Philly is, she's like, fuck it, I got plot armor. Is it me, or are they buffed all to hell? I don't remember them killing this guy that fast before. Still can't do large pulls as we saw in the first dungeon. Holminster Switch almost fucking died. But they still seem a little bit stronger at least, you know? There it is. I was like, where the fuck's the other... Damn it. This other asshole showed up. Tell him, Amphilia. Your words will definitely destroy him a lot faster than your blade. Yeah. Keep talking shit. I'll do it. I'm just busting her balls a little bit because she stood in the AoEs for some fucking or not the AoEs, but you know. She stood in the way of the statues earlier. I wonder if that was on purpose. Like, I've heard theories from people saying that the NPCs will sometimes deliberately fail mechanics just to show you what not to do. So, like, one of them will do that and then the other ones won't. But sometimes I've seen them all dodge shit. Like, in previous dungeons, they've all done it right. So, I don't know. I don't know how much truth there is to that, you know? Oh shit, wrong button. Muscle memory's all confused right now. Fuck you. Nope, she's still standing in it. The Billy gives no fucks. She's like, my uptime! So y'all wanna call me useless in Realm Reborn, huh? I'm gonna be the greatest DPS there is. I'm gonna stand in all the AoEs to make sure I don't lose uptime. I've been reading what they've been saying. Let's see. Have they been saying much? No. She just said more statues, another trap, I should think. They were a lot more chatty in some of the previous dungeons. They were saying shit like every 5 seconds. Oh, hey, Larkin. Just saw your little emote, your little wave. Hope you're having a good morning. Welcome back to the stream. Always happy to have you. The Ronkins guard their secrets well. Its design calls to mind the Ronkin legends of giants. Fascinating. Los Otto? And Billy? Anything to add? No? I guess not. Alright. What do I have loaded up? I can do this right after doing that. Okay. See if I don't fuck this up. First of all, I'm already fucking up my positioning. There we go. Stone Fist. That's his tank buster. Got it. I'll look out for that next time. Used to have I better just focus on for now. I'll talk about it later. Oh, already. Shit, should have been watching out for that. Wait, I think I didn't get hit by it. Oh my god, by 1 pixel! Oh, now it's the arm, okay. Oh shit! I might have been a bit late. Hell no. Damn it, should have finished my combo. Not this time, asshole. Still fucking hurts. Jesus.
I will not hold back.
God damn, this music just gets you so fucking pumped up, dude. It's so amazing. Such a banger. Someone LP his ass. I know y'all want to. Kill him! You stole it. There you go. Truly a fascinating specimen of Ronkan ingenuity, though thankfully nowhere near the fabled Knights of Losado. Oh, yeah. So Rion just said the first one. I was wondering who was saying what. I couldn't see their names. Woo! That was good shit. Did the boss music. It gave me chills while fighting that. Like, it's so good. It doesn't get old. Hype as shit. What's that? Bats. Beasts! I better stop here. Sometimes I get a little carried away and think I'm playing with other people. No. Honestly, the duty support system is the best way, the best and most comfortable way for new players to learn how to start tanking, at least the very basics of it. I'm glad that they finally added it to Realm Reborn. Because I didn't really start tanking at all until Shadowbringers, because I didn't want to until I, you know... Oh, and this is what I was going to talk about earlier. I said I was going to talk about this. The rest of the boss fight made me forget. Speaking of tanking, yeah, I started mostly here, but I had already started beforehand, when a friend of mine really wanted to get me into it for some fucking reason. I don't know why they cared so much about getting me to start tanking, even though I was perfectly comfortable playing as a DPS. I don't really understand it, but whatever. I was like, I let them pressure me into it, and I tried it out. And yeah, for the most part, at least from the people I talked to, it's kind of like... It seemed like they gave off the vibe that you had to do it by intuition. So like... Meaning, they told me the basics, which was rotating your cooldowns. That was simple enough on paper. But they said knowing which ones to use or how many to use depends on the size of the pull, yada yada. And I was like, well, I would always argue like, well, there's no way to know unless you've already practiced that dungeon. You never know how hard enemies are going to hit in a particular dungeon unless you've already done it before. And some of the people I talked to, not all of them, but some of them were always a little stubborn, like, no, it's easy, like, you just know. And this is like, no, you don't just know. Like, so you can't just know, like, and this is what I was getting at, the tank buster thing, right? You see how they always hit me with one, and then I'm like, okay, that's the tank buster. Because it's like, how are you supposed to know if you've never done the dungeon before? How are you supposed to know what attack a boss is going to do that is a tank buster and what's just an AoE or a party wipe? You can't know. You can't possibly know unless you've done the dungeon before and you've memorized the name of it. But it's like, some of the people I talked to were like, oh no, you're just supposed to know. Like, it's like, some people who think they're good teachers and mentors really aren't. And they really need to check themselves and what they're saying. You know, it's like, and yeah, it's just like, that's not how that works. You can't possibly know an enemy's tank bust until you've seen it before and see the name. It's familiarity that makes you a good tank, basically. You can't just read the minds of enemies or the developers. without having first played the damn content and gotten a little bit familiar with it. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, the duty support system I think is a great way to learn the basics of it and start getting all that down, especially if you have no one to teach you or help you, you know? Which is, well, it depends on server to server whether that's likely or not. I've heard that in some servers, the novice network is not the greatest place to learn shit. I've never been there myself. I've never been a part of it myself, but yeah. Yeah, this is also a very comfortable way to learn your particular, like your particular dog class, because obviously it's not like there's just one tank, right? This is a good way to learn a new tank if you've already been used to one and you don't know the moves of another one, another tank class. What's that? There it is again. Stay on your guard, we're near the tremor's source. Oh, you mean that giant stone statue wasn't the thing causing earthquakes? I guess not. I was like, if I was a gunbreaker, we'd be blazing through this, because I've already gotten so familiar with all the attacks. I played it for so long, you know? Piercing cry rings out the temple, that's what they're talking about. But now that I switched over to... Oh god, I forgot not to pull too many. Oh, this is not good, we're gonna die. That's what I get for fucking yabbering. And yeah, I say learning the basics of thinking is good like this, because once you get to the real world, I guess, if you want to call it that, aka once you start playing with other players, you know, they'll expect you to do much larger pulls. Whereas the NPCs here are only capable of really small ones, you know what I mean? There we go. That's case in point. That's what happens when you try to do a large pull with NPCs. I got carried away because I was fucking blabbering too long. That's what I get for rambling. So yeah, this teaches you the basics, but for more, obviously, the more advanced thinking that most people tend to expect when you do like duty roulettes and stuff, you have to, you know, take what you learn to the next level and actually do wall-to-wall pulls. And it's like, yeah, you don't have to. But you just won't, you probably won't be getting a lot of combinations if you don't. Since even if people don't speak up, there's a lot of people who get really impatient if you don't do that. And then you get a few nasty people who do sometimes speak up and they're dicks about it, which I've had that experience before. It's one of the main reasons I had anxiety to begin with, because I knew that kind of thing was going to happen. I said it before, I think healers get more flack, but even tanks can sometimes get shit on just for not being absolutely perfect. It doesn't happen often, but there are a few toxic people out there who are just like, you know, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? They just expect you to be like perfect. And just knowing that those people were out there was what kept me from tanking from the very beginning of the game, to be honest. Again, luckily I haven't, it's not a common experience. I'm glad for that. But it does happen still. Also, I'm grateful that tanking is actually a lot easier than it used to be from what I heard. From what I heard before Shadowbringers, like, you had to actually be turning your tank stance on and off to maximize DPS, otherwise it was garbage. And pulls would take forever. So it used to be a hell of a lot harder. And now we should be able to take on the bats now by themselves. No, that was kind of a waste at that point. Should have been watching his health. Saved it for this one. Alright, you two, let's go. Source of the tremors. By the gods, it's hideous! That such a beast could survive down here all this time. Indeed. 3, 2, 1. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna guess that's the... Yeah, alright. There we go. I took a wild guess that was the tank buster. That's the other thing, not all bosses have one either. I feel like it started becoming a more consistent pattern in Shadowbringers and beyond, but before that, I don't think it was that consistent. Stop whining, you little shit! Oh, I didn't get out of that in time. I'll be watching the floor more carefully. Fuck, I didn't see the cast bar. And that's the other thing, no matter what job class or role you're playing as, when you're new to this game, it's very easy to get overwhelmed by everything that's happening. Like, that's something else that I had going for me that didn't help when I started tanking when I was still too new to the game. Which again was just because of pressure from a friend who wanted me to do it for some fucking reason. It's fairly gonna fall. That explains why they moved over here. Yeah, when you're new to the game, at least for me, it's very easy to be overwhelmed by way too much shit happening at the same time. Like, it's just, it gets a little crazy. Nowadays, with over a year of experience playing this game, it's a little bit easier and I can actually be like, my eyes know where to look at certain times. Not always, as you see, I still miss some of the tank busters, but I still remember what it was like when I was new. Holy shit. I was like, there's way too many mechanics happening at the same time. I can't, like, know what to do and keep up my rotation at the same time. It was way too much shit. Even to this day, I still feel that way sometimes. Probably gonna happen in Endwalker when I'm completely unfamiliar with everything. My ear won't stop ringing. Would that we could stop and rest, but we must press on. Well, honestly, with the supersonic sound waves that thing was doing, we should all be deaf now, or have some kind of hearing damage, yeah. There we go. Alright, let's get going. Ah, excuse me. But yeah, like at least for 6 months, playing the game on and off, I couldn't keep up with shit. Alliance raids especially. There was way too much going on. At last, Raktika falls, and below awaiteth the life warden. Somewhere in this beautiful landscape, yeah. Alright, Geronimo. Water makes it hard to see AoEs. You gotta watch out whenever you're in bodies of water. So that first boss is actually, I don't know why I didn't bring this up earlier. I want to say a few months ago, I was doing a duty roulette and the healer was obviously new. And they did alright with healing, but they got killed by that boss with the giant stone statue because of exactly what I was saying. They even said it out loud. They were like, how the fuck was I supposed to watch like the floor for AoEs and watch the statues in the back and watch the guy's shoulder at the same time? I obviously felt sympathy for him because I was like, that used to be me, yeah. I never played as a healer because obviously I was too scared to knowing how new I was. Same reason I didn't tank. But yeah, I was like, yep, that was me when I first started this. And because I started off as a Dragoon, it pretty much meant that I lived up to the stereotype of being a floor tank. Pretty much. Great. How could I not? I was being overwhelmed by too much shit happening at once. So yeah, I would get killed constantly. But yeah, it is unfortunate that I told a friend of mine who's been playing the game for a long time, about that incident. And you know, like I said, they've been playing for a long time. They do like Savage Raid content, you know, high-end stuff, right? And whereas I had shown a little bit of sympathy for the guy, the person I told the story to was like, oh my god, you know, basically, I forgot what they said, but they basically made fun of him. And I was just kind of like, we all gotta start somewhere. It's like, can you forgive the guy for maybe having a little bit of ADHD or something? Like, maybe something distracted him, or he's just, you know, new to the game? Like, Jesus Christ, like, it's such a toxic attitude. I was just like, yikes. I haven't met too many people, personally, that are, into, like, high-end content and stuff for this game. But I know they can't all possibly be like that. I know there's quite a few that are actually more tolerant and forgiving and understanding of newer players. But like I said, it is unfortunate you do still run into a lot of, toxic veterans, unfortunately. If that's the way of putting it. They can't understand how someone who's new to the game can't play perfectly for some reason. I don't get it. I've made it a point on stream when I've had to party with others, like mostly for trials and stuff, Whenever I see somebody fucked up, I point it out, but I never make fun of them. I'm just kind of like, oh shit. Like, I'm sympathetic. I don't just go like, oh my god, what a noob. But like, no. Why would I do that? It's like, I used to be and I still kind of am a noob. Why would I make fun of that? Like... Sometimes I'll laugh if the fuck up was funny, but I'll never put them down for it, that's for sure. Oh yeah, so you stole earlier said Sin Eaters. We're getting close. Right. Stands the reason Light Warden would have a bunch of lesser Sin Eaters guarding them. Makes sense. Whoa! Hey, how come they just teleported? I wanted to see them slide too. Tarzan style, you know? Who's this? Light Warden Eros. Eros? I think in some languages, Eros is used as a version of, like, erotic, so... That's not what it means here, I don't think, but still... Obviously not. But that's why I played the sound effect. Whew! Alright, well, I was quite rambly during this dungeon, wasn't I? Time to focus or else I'm gonna die. Again. The Light Warden of Raktikna. Indeed. He's more terrible than the deed described. Ren? Is that the tank buster? Yes. So yeah, I guess it's safe to say in Shadowbringers the pattern is they always start with that. I'm out of heaven. They're targeting someone else. That's a distance thing. Stay too close and you're fucked. Get back in here. Viper poison. I should have saved that for after. Inhaling. He's waiting to exhale. Oh wait. No, that's not a gas boat. Damn it. You don't get two. You only get one. Get over here. Good. Who's he targeting? See, if you guys remember Cerberus in the Alliance raids for Realm Reborn and Crystal Tower, World of Darkness, right? Cerberus uses an attack called Hound Out of Hell. This is the opposite. This is basically the Sin Eater Light Warden version of, I don't know why they came over here, but shit. Damn it!
I got poison!
It's the holy version of Cerberus, this one. Oh no. Damn it! Alright, arm's length doesn't do shit against the boss. Gotta start paying more attention. Saw where she was going. Never. Damn! Tell him you stole it. Holy shit! She is fucking pissed. So that's the best place to take that, huh? Noted. He's dead. Take him out! There. Whew. Phew. Hey, thanks, Aiden. That's a cute ass emote. The rave. You know, that brings me to my last point on everything I've been talking about. The whole part, you know, party play, party content, that kind of thing. So the Warden of the Wood falls, and thus doth the Knight's return. Talking. If I was ever in voice chat with people, like with friends, when we would do duty roulettes and stuff, my performance would, you know, like playing the game would just like plummet. Because even if you're just talking and still looking at the game and everything that's happening, it's still multitasking. You're still a little distracted and sidetracked from doing that. And I wasn't the only one. There was another friend of mine who was like, yeah, I can't, like, whenever she wanted to take the game like serious and actually like do well, she would just shut up. She would mute her mic. She would, I don't know if she would also mute like everything, but she would basically just like be quiet and just fucking focus. And yeah, it's like, I can see that, because I also, if I talk too much, as you saw, I perform terribly. That Light Warden, it was terrifying. Good. Keep that memory with you. Daddy Thancred over here, imparting tough lessons on his little one, huh? Alright, victory is ours. Let's get the hell out of here. But yeah, I didn't do my best because I was rambling way too much just now. I kept fucking up. And I'm still de-rusting Dark Knight. It never did feel that easy to me. I've always found Gunbreaker easier. Strangely. Most people say Gunbreaker's like the hardest one, but honestly I find Dark Knight a little bit more busy and troublesome. I think when they say Gunbreaker's the hardest, they probably just mean optimizing the DPS for it. You're not super OCD about that stuff like me, because I'm more of a casual player and I'm just like, whatever, let's just get through it. Then yeah, I guess that's probably why I find it easier. And less busy than this. With Dark Knight, it feels like there's so much going on. You gotta watch your MP so you can use your other off-level cooldowns or whatever, and then your little bar fills up that other one, and there's just so much going on. Oh, we fought Holy Cerberus, basically. The Sin Eater version of Cerberus.
The Night Warden is dead. The Blessed's prayers have been answered.
Aye, that they have. His condition yet troubleth thee?
It does. Though he shows no immediate signs of corruption, the danger remains. He must be told. Would you describe it to me, Marie-Angé? Paint for me a picture with your words.
A sea of shimmering stars. Diamonds strewn across a raven gown. Boundless and beautiful. 'Tis an exquisite sight, not unlike that of the source. Calm and gentle and forgiving.
I can see it.
For however deep the void, or wide the expanse, there is no shore so distant as to be beyond the reach of light. Ominous though that may sound, given our present travails.
He's quite the poet. That moved me, man. I felt something here. Oh, that was an ass smack, alright.
Well fought. Let us return home.
Get it, Urianger? Get some!
The murals. If I am not mistaken, they predate the Empire.
How can you tell?
A peculiarity of the paint. Most are made from mineral-based pigments. But whatever was used here is older than anything I have ever seen. According to Almet, this sanctuary was built to preserve the wisdom of the ancients. What events do these murals commemorate, I wonder?
Must you always linger after defeating your enemies? Navigating these halls on foot is exhausting.
Come to lead us to safety, have you?
I was bored. But how is the hero of the hour? Fighting fit, I see. Keep up the good work.
You're plotting something.
Every hour of every day. But never you mind about that. As I have told you 1,000 times before, I like to watch. Nothing more. Well, I would quit this place and I suggest you do the same. There is yet work to be done.
He's a voyeur. He likes to watch.
There is a sight to bring a tear to the eye.
You recognize these scenes?
That I do. Indeed, there was a time when anyone and everyone would. Until one calamitous day when the world was divided across 10 and 3 reflections, sundering the land and all who dwelled upon it. And the worst part? No one could remember it. Not really. Just fragments and fleeting memories of an achingly familiar world. A vision shared of a paradise lost, preserved only in song and scripture and paint. Once upon a time. Yet here we find ourselves again, to look, learn, and remember.
Then share with us the stories you know so well. We are listening.
Before the Great Sundering, there was one world. A world that knew naught but peace and prosperity. Until it was faced with a crisis. Unprecedented, terrifying. Civilization found itself perched upon a precipice, staring into oblivion. But through prayer and sacrifice, the will of the star was made manifest. Zodiac was his name, and by his grace was the calamity averted.
Zodiac.
A savior mighty and magnificent, deserving of reverence and gratitude. One would have thought, yet some thought otherwise. From the fears of these naysayers would rise Hydaelyn, she who was to serve as his shackles, to bind him and hold him in check. And so they fought, and they fought, and they fought, and in the end, Hydaelyn was victorious. With all her strength, she smote him, dealing a blow so devastating that it split the very fabric of reality. And thus was Zodiac banished and his being divided. That concludes today's lesson on long-forgotten history. Though I imagine your mother would offer a rather contradictory account, as is her wont.
I'm sorry, I can only assume I misheard. But it sounded an awful lot like you were implying both Zodiac and Hydaelyn are not gods. But...
What? Not gods of the first? Is that what you thought these paintings depicted? Or... Oh. Oh. They are gods after a fashion, yes. But no different from the kind with which you are so intimately acquainted. Formed of faith and prayer, of conviction and devotion. The eldest and most powerful of primals.
You have spun quite a tale. Yet you have not explained the role of the Ascians in all of this. How is it you are privy to ancient secrets lost to time?
Finally you ask the right question. And shrewd questions warrant honest answers. We Ascians know because it is our history, our story. It was we who summoned Zodiac, we natives of that sundered paradise. Now, do you see why we yearn for the great rejoining? For our world, for our people, for all creation to be made whole again. Wouldn't you wish for the same?
Can't even see the sky with all the canopy above us. And it's about to be daytime again anyway, but... Wow. That was quite the revelation, wasn't it? You dropped the bomb on us there. Hydaelyn and Zodiac are both just two more primals, like any other. They're just the oldest. Which brings a lot of disturbing questions to mind, but I think they're about to address them. Not like this. The panic, yeah. Yeah, because it's like, what does that say about us then? We've been doing everything in the name of Heidelin. Are we just thralls to another primal? Not just the Scions, but specifically the Warriors of Light, those of us with the Echo. Because it immediately starts to make you wonder why it is, you know... You remember what Ifrit said back in Realm Reborn? He said he couldn't enthrall us because we were already enthralled to another. But then he backpedaled and realized, wait, no, you just have the blessing of light. You know, Heidelin's blessing, basically. What if it's the same thing, though? What if it's just being enthralled to her, and that's why we can't be enthralled by other primals? Tancred did tell me about primals, but I don't fully understand what all of this means. I haven't been around as much as us. The eldest and most powerful of primals. What? If that were Heidelin's origin, then what would that make... No. No, I will not take the words of an Ascian on trust. It has to be a lie. See? He's thinking that too. He's like, does that mean we're all just fucking thralls of Heidelin? 'Tis oft said, truth is a matter of perspective. Yet upon this matter there can be but one truth. I pray it is not his. The ramifications if it was... a pretty big deal. That was an enlightening experience, though not in the way I'd hoped. Do you suppose there is any truth in Emmett Self's claims? Don't ask me. The burden of knowledge. It's another way of saying the truth hurts, right? Bearing with it. The recent events plainly warrant further discussion. I think it best that we wait until Alfino and the others are present. Emmett Self included. How convenient that he should choose this moment to keep to the shadows. Because he wants us to ponder on what the hell he just told us. Well, no matter. For the present, we should return to Fanau and make certain of the Yomorn's withdrawal. After that, Slitherbound. The Blessed are no doubt elated by what has become of the sky. Seeing the night sky return, yeah. They're probably like, holy shit! It happened! Oh, right. Ladies. The sky, it is beautiful. You can see through that shit? So many trees in the way. What has happened to the sky? I've never seen anything like it. You are returned, and unharmed, I see. Indeed, I am pleased to report that the Light Warden is no more, thanks in large part to you. That the death of a single Sin Eater should make such a difference. As our numbers waned, so too did our hope that the ruins we have devoted our lives to guarding would ever find purpose. Yet here you are, the allies for whom we have waited these many centuries, and with your arrival came the chance to pass on our legacy, the ancient wisdom of the Empire. Our life feels complete. That alone would have been reward enough. Excuse me, never did we imagine it would serve to banish the light that pervaded these woods. On behalf of the bees, our forebears, and the late Emperor Ronka, you have our deepest thanks. Oh, I'm honored. You're very welcome. It is we who should be thanking you. Our journey through the Kitana Rubble proved most enlightening. To be privy to such knowledge is an honor, one for which we never hoped. Please, you need not be so humble. We but do our duty as decreed by the late Emperor. Would that he were still with us to express his gratitude in person. But sister, does this not mean our duty is fulfilled? To our allies, perhaps, but the ruins cannot be left unguarded. So long as we live here in these woods, the secrets of Ronka must not fall into the wrong hands. That little thumbs up. Hella cute. Is Runar still here? Or Runar, sorry. No, we escorted him back to Slitherbough shortly after you set out. If you would return to the Knights Blessed, we will not keep you any longer. I suspect they would be glad of your company. Thank you, Olmet. I look forward to a day when we might share a more leisurely visit to the ruins of Ronka. Excuse me. We will await your return then. Did you have need of the wisdom of Ronka again? You know where to find us. Be it a year from now or 10, we look forward to your return. Perhaps someday we will visit your home instead. Yeah, that'd be fun. Have a big slumber party or something. I don't know why a slumber party, it's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't know. Ah. The lady. What's up, Runar?
Ah, you are returned, and none the worse for wear, I see.
You needn't worry about us. What became of the Umoran soldiers, more importantly?
They turned tail and fled at the sight of the night sky. The children of the everlasting dark have also retreated back to Woven Oath. Try as they might, they could not deny the truth of their own eyes. The sunless sea of heaven, full of love and grace, where none need know pain or suffering. In that moment, when the sky's light began to wane, I knew our prayers had been answered. That we were doomed to face oblivion at life's end no longer. When first we met, I harbored certain suspicions about you. Now I see that I was right. You are the bringers of shadow, the warriors of darkness, the saviors for whom we have prayed for so long.
I suppose you're not entirely wrong. But we are not worthy of your reverence, nor have we any desire to be worshipped. If you would pray, pray for your children, that they may one day know a better world.
I will do as you say, but please, let us at least hold a feast to celebrate your victory. You deserve that much.
I'm sorry, Runar, but there is still much to be done and scant time in which to do it. We must go. All of us. For we share the same path and the same fate.
So be it. I ask only that you hold us in your hearts, as we would hold you in ours. Now, and ever after. By the boundless dark, this I swear.
He was looking for any reason to get her to stay a little bit longer. He really didn't want her to go. Ah, poor Runar. He wasn't there to see you still give Urianja that little love tap on the ass, right? Oh, how I wish you could stay. But I understand that duty calls and you must answer. Each night, when I gaze up at the sunless sea, I will think of you, of Master Matoya, of all you have done for the Knights Blessed. Safe travels, my friend, and may the shadows keep you. Well, thank you, Runa. There you go, buddy. It'll be alright. We'll come back to visit. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, Lord. Out of the wood. I'm surprised part 1 hasn't ended. We're now past the halfway point. We're at level 76. I'm just waiting for that message to come up saying, you know, part 1 finished, exiting New Game Plus mode or something, but no, not yet. Though it pains me to leave, it is time I returned with you and the others to the Crystarium. But before we go, might I speak with you in private? I will await you in my chambers. This is probably about what her and Urianger were arguing about before, that I listened in on. And they brought it up back at the temple, too. Thank you for coming. I thought to keep my suspicions to myself, but after witnessing your victory at Rockpika Falls, I fear they proved true, and so I must share them with you. From the first when we met at Fort Gone, your ether has appeared. Tainted. Suffused with an overabundance of light not unlike the Sin Eaters. When you defeated the Light Warden, I fear the light which poured forth from it was not negated by Heidelin's blessing. Rather, it was absorbed into your being. Urianger also suspects as much, though he is unwilling to share his thoughts on the matter. One thing is certain, with every warden you defeat, the danger to you grows greater. Greater, perhaps, than we can imagine. If you begin to feel anything strange, anything at all, pray inform me at once. You should hurry before the others begin to worry. Once I have sorted my things here, I will join you. Shit. Pray go on ahead. I would first attend to this unsightly collection of books. I'd always complained that her cave was such a mess. Books and scrolls strewn about like a child's playthings. Gods, I really am turning into her. Excuse me. That's a nice follow-up to what she said back at the Azim Step. When she was talking about, what's his name? The little son, I now call him because I forgot his fucking name. Magnai. Said something like children fighting with each other or something like that, right? And then she paused and was like, oh god, I'm turning into her. I'm turning into Matoya. See Thancred, where's Urianger though? What's Twin Billy doing? Is that a little... I didn't even notice there was kids here. I hadn't seen one until just now. Considering the Blessed have only just recovered from their encounter with the Yomorans, Thancred and the others thought we should stay a while longer to be sure they're alright. They're such a kind and caring people. I pray they never again have to face such hardship. That's cute. And Philly's just making friends with everybody. I don't see Urianger, but I see him. What's up, Tancred? You making friends too? What Master Matoya did was completely and utterly reckless. But if not for her, a great many of the Knights Blessed would not be here. This whole village would be gone. I like how you emphasized Master Matoya, because, you know, obviously not using a real name. Brings you back to the FF1 days, doesn't it? Can't believe how long this journey has been. We took one last patrol of the perimeter. All things considered, Slitherbow remains relatively unscathed. Thanks to the antidote, all those who were poisoned will make a full recovery.
I got
They're not poisoned anymore. And with the night sky returned, their prayers have at last been answered. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Shall we be off then? That's all good. Art thou certain this is best? I'll not deny there is a part of me that wishes I could stay. For 2 years I have lived with the Blessed, learned their culture, even going so far as to adopt Master Matoya's name as my own. I but pray I did honor to it. Aww. This is about to get teary-eyed. Look at her. Now is not the time for doubts or hesitation. Come, we must return to the Crystarium. I'm sure your old friend the Crystal Exarch will be happy to see you. After she's shunned completely talking to him. For being such a secretive little motherfucker. Oh, I bet this is where part 1 ends. As soon as we get back to the hotel. And then I'm gonna be like, you know... because of what comes after part 1. Won't say anything yet, but you'll see. It was passing strange to see the Crystarium so seemingly desolate, yet it appears all is well. It's all good. Jesus. Trying to target damn NPCs, game. I know he said he would be walking from the shadows, but doesn't it seem wrong to leave without at least telling him itself? You gotta love Minfilia, right? She's so young and innocent, like... she's too nice to everybody. She's just like, shouldn't you have told him? It's like, look, he's watching us the whole time. Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not there. It's fine, alright? Hopefully the others will arrive before long. Indeed. You still up? That's what makes Minfilia cute, though. Well, this version, basically. All things considered, it is hardly surprising that Alphino and Alize have yet to arrive, but where is the Exarch? It's like, Alphino and Alize are technically still kids too, at least by appearance. I don't know about Elizan aging, but, you know, they obviously are. They've been through more shit, so they're more mature or whatever. But it's kind of funny and refreshing to have an actual child in the party, like Minfilia. It's just very funny and cute. My friends! It's good to see you all again. Alphino, it has been too long. I assume your presence here means you brought word of the warden hiding in Raktika? Mm-hmm. We're all done with that shit. Found and slain, you say? I should have known. Yulmor has but recently dispatched soldiers to all corners of Norvan to defend them. I am glad to see their efforts were wasted on the Greatwood. Speaking of Yulmor, what came of your meeting with Bothri? Yes, about that. It proved to be... that? Excuse me. Exarch, you mustn't push yourself. Your time away from the tower has clearly taken its toll. Oh no. Oh, excuse me. Gotta prevent hiccups. For some reason, leaning forward like that sometimes helps. It's the way air pockets form inside you, I think. No doubt you all are tired as well, having traveled so far. Why don't we all take a much-needed rest before we discuss our findings? Alright. I thought to propose the very same. After your clash with the Warden, you deserve a chance to recuperate. Settled then. We reconvene after everyone has had time to settle in. Bedtime. Slumber party. Well, sadly, no slumber party, but we'll just have to take what we can get. Gentlemen. Can I use this one? Damn it. Whatever, it's not like I need it, right? Yeah. Time for some resident sleeper business. Going to bed. Welcome back, sir. Returned from a lengthy excursion, I take it. Yeah. Oh, dude, I didn't see her. What the hell? I just noticed she was standing there. She blended in with the background. Well, your room has been made ready. If you care to retire? Yeah. Very good. I pray you sound sleep and pleasant dreams. Likewise, my good sir, likewise. I did not see that Rogan in there for like a good half minute. Is it a Rogan or was that you know what, I didn't pay attention. I think that might have actually been... I don't know. I did not pay attention enough.
So there's a light sealed inside you, is there? You wouldn't know it from the outside. You look the same as you ever did to me.
Alright, I don't feel much different either. I like being stoic and brave, but I mean, deep down on the inside, we all sometimes have that feeling of, you know, we can all get a little scared and insecure sometimes. What if that changes? What if it overwhelms me? It's concerning.
I'm damned if I know. It's not as if I can lift a finger to help myself, much less you.
Wow, thanks, Arthur. You're very comforting.
Have faith in your friends, look out for them, and hope that they look out for you. What more can you do?
Alright, that's a little better.
Think he was telling the truth? Emmett, I mean. All that rot about Hydaelyn being no different from any other primal. If so, what would that make her blessing? Are we just slaves to her will? Let's pay him no mind. Lies the Ascians stock in trade. Villains, heroes, all a matter of perspective, they'd have you believe. One man's fond memory, another's waking nightmare.
That's exactly what Squall said.
Me, I'm no saint or savior. Just another sinner. And I know damn well I'm in no position to judge. When I saw the people of Slitherbow look up at the sky and celebrate the return of the dark, I felt good. It was moments like that that I cherished. Much more than the thrill of adventure. The quiet after the storm. I always took comfort in that.
Honestly, it's the best part. I agree with him. That is a much more, valuable and precious feeling. Meanwhile, in Garlemald, get to see what's happening back home again. But yeah, it does feel good though, when you see the smiles on people's faces as evidence of how much good you did that day. First time we actually see the city proper. Well, you know, their main capital, I'm guessing.
What did the scouts have to report?
Several skirmishes, but nothing of consequence. The fighting seems to have taken its toll on both sides.
A stalemate, then. The Alliance has done well to hold the line for so long. But then they did have Ishgardian reinforcements.
Nevertheless, neither side has any appetite for a prolonged engagement. 'Tis but the calm before the storm. And should the Empire choose to bring their full might to bear...
To say nothing of Black Rose. All the more reason to hasten our search. How close are your people to identifying our next target?
Close enough, though I have received some troubling intelligence. One of our generals posted to the Alamegan front recently disappeared without trace from the battlefield at Gimlet Dark.
Odd. Dead seems unlikely. Fled less so. I wonder where he'll turn up.
Xenos.
Were I a betting man, I would say here, in the capital. Not that any deserter who valued his life would contemplate returning, but a corpse might, given the right encouragement.
In the manner of his royal remains, you mean?
Elidibus plainly has no need of a new host, so the question becomes who? It may be that another player has joined the game. Something to consider at any rate. But come, there's work to be done.
Oh, there he is.
These bloodless games make for poor sport.
Politics, am I right? That's what he's thinking.
And if father... Nay. I am a stranger to him in this body.
Wants the scraps?
Besides, there is but one hand that can make me whole again. My enemy. My friend. I know not what entertainment occupies you, but if you will not clear the way for me, then I shall seize the reins of fate once more.
He really misses me, doesn't he? The missing general right there listening to their conversation. Our two dark and brooding anti-heroes over there, Estinian and Gaius. The two edgelords holding down the fort back home while we're over here trying to be an edgelord with this armor. What's wrong, Leon? You alright? Uh-oh. Did he hear something outside? What's going on? Playing People Shake music. There it is! I knew it! I knew it was gonna end on that cliffhanger, man. Shit. I knew that was gonna happen. That is a perfect spot for it to end. For part 1 to end. Honestly. It really is. I still have a little bit of extra time, so I'm not done streaming. Not too much, but about I still got another 25 minutes. But my plan was, I never said anything to make it more suspenseful when it finally happens. It finally happens. My plan was when I finished part 1, the first half, which we just did, to do what the game kind of wants you to do, which is, not at this point specifically, just at some point before you finish. And you can't finish unless you do at least one of these. And that is the role quests. And I'm going to be doing all of them. Because I didn't know this my first playthrough when I did all of them, but I found out after. It unlocks some post-game side content that is very crucial to the backstory of the first. And even ties into the storylines of other side content and post-game content after the game's over. So, loosely. And I wanted to save this rant for later, but for now I can just say the basic of it was a lot of the post-game and a lot of the post-game content, MSQ and side content, after you finish the game, is very, very interrelated. They wove it all together very well. And I think that was just to encourage those lore buffs and story buffs like me to do everything after you finish the game, you know? Because it all ties together very well. More so, it's more cohesive than previous expansions. Again, they did that much better too. Because the Evilise raids, they don't really tie into Omega, and vice versa, you know? You see Sid in both of them, right? But in this game's post-game content, there's a lot more crossover. Not with those two specifically. I'm not saying the Alliance and normal raids. That's actually pretty much the same as Stormblood, honestly. But there's a lot of side content besides the Alliance and normal raids this time that all kind of comes together with the MSQ very well. It gives you way more lore, way more backstory, and I think it's very important to explore. But in order to set a lot of that stuff up, we gotta do the role quests, and since the game kind of wants you to do the role quest before you even finish, you know, the final quest in the main scenario, well, I figured, okay, then for New Game Plus, I will do it once the game finish, you know, once we're done with part 1 and I'm allowed to start a New Game Plus file, which is the role quests. So we'll be doing those now. So I'll go ahead and get started, probably do like 20 minutes of the first one, and then, well, no, actually I can do like about 40-ish minutes, so, and then I'll come back later, you know, I'll stop the stream and then come back later to do some more. But yeah, so the next few streams, it's gonna be all role quests now. Thanks, Aiden. I appreciate the understanding. Yeah, so it's gonna be... I remember my first playthrough. Each role quest is roughly 2 hours. So that's... the way I divide my videos, that's gonna be... well, let's see, tank, healer, the 2 DPSs, that's 4. So 4 times 2, that's gonna be 8 hours worth of content that's just gonna be nothing but role quests. So it's gonna be at least pretty much all of today, the rest of today, and a bit of most of tomorrow, basically, depending on how much I stream. It's gonna be all role quests. So if you're watching on YouTube in the future and you don't want to watch any of this crap and you just want to stick to the MSQ, you're probably gonna have to go forward like 8 videos. Since I divide them into 2-hour pieces or segments, but well, that would be weird. I would make a cleaner video. You know what? I just thought of something. I'm not gonna take a break. I'm just gonna make a benchmark and probably finish this video here and then start a new one, even though it's only gonna be like an hour or like 40 minutes. I'll start a new video just to keep the role quests in their own self-contained series, now that I just said that. So I'm gonna put up the BRB screen and take like maybe just 5 minutes this time, just to make sure that when I edit this I can see that. So it's not gonna be like my usual breaks. So 1 second, I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the restroom actually, now that I think about it. It's a good opportunity.